Hey guys, this is Danish. I'm back with our free community webinar sessions. We organize this kind of sessions every week where we invite experts, lawyers, accountants, and discuss all topics, nomad businesses, nomad taxes, immigration, how to save money, lifestyle topics. So thank you very much. I really appreciated that all you joined. I'm right now in Greece, and I'll be hosting it. So our guest, Matt Nee, actually is supposed to join, but he got COVID, so he may not be joining it. That's a little bit of bad news, but the good news here is that I will be answering all your questions. I have two US companies, one in Delaware, one in Wyoming. So I've been through the whole cycle where I will be talking to you about why it's important to register, what is the process, what is the cost, and what are the tax implications and all of that thing, as I'm actually running two active companies. Before we dive in, I quickly want to share some community resources. I also want to give a shout out. So I'm going to share my screen. And the first resource I want to share is visadb.io. I am the founder of this project. Is actually, you can find the global visa, tax, and company experts around the world. You just need to search, enter the country, and voila, you can find all the experts. And then you can click and you can actually chat with these experts. You can see the pricing, and I'm bringing transparency to cross-border transaction. This project actually got funded by European Union and government of Chile and government of Poland and MIT. There's a lot of organizations involved in it. They funded this project because they noticed where the world is going, digital nomadism. So they thought it's important, so they are funding it. Quick shout out want to give to Safety Wing because they support our free community webinar sessions. Good products. Most of them use their insurance because they are the cheapest in the market. Check out their products. There's the link as well, and you can click. You might get something, not sure, but yeah, that's cool. The second shout out I want to give is Mercury, which is very important for today's session because they offer an incredible deal to our community, exclusive deal to our community, and they are the business account for the US. So if you're planning to open a company, this is your bank. Why? Because it's a free account forever, and they also do not charge any fee on international wire transfer. Let me repeat that. They do not charge any fee on international wires. You are saving $40 on each wire. I've banked with many companies, and this is I was shocked. The only fee they charge if you're sending a wire in a different currency, not USD. It's just like, I don't know your business, depends, but it's not a bad deal. So these were the shout outs. Let me quickly turn it off. And I'm back. So guys, start shooting your questions. I will be answering them, but we start our conversation that why you need to register a business, right? So the premise of this webinar, we will be talking about online businesses or people who are freelancers because, the scope of all businesses is so wide that I may not be able to cover or may not share my personal experience, right? So I have both businesses are online, they are software products, one is a platform. So we will be covering around that. So why we need to register a company? Why can I do business, with my personal account or personal name? So there's a classical wisdom that is better to separate it. Reason number one, in some countries you have to do it. If you're running a business, you need to create a separate entity. Even if it's not a requirement, it's a good idea that to go out with a separate entity. It saves you from liability and also keep things separate in terms of income and expenses and liabilities. If the two separate entities, it's very clear, it's very transparent. You know how much money is yours, and you know what assets are related to business and what liabilities and expenses are related to business. So it's a good idea to register. Now, we are digital nomads. We are remote workers. So we come from different countries. I am actually from Toronto, and I am in Greece right now, and I will be traveling. So to register my company, the minimum requirement is that I can register that business 100% online. This is the first criteria. Second, I am able to open a business bank account 100% remote. That's the second criteria. And it has to have a least compliance, right? Because we don't like paperwork. We don't want to waste our time filling these reports and submitting the inquiries sent by this office from some country. We don't have time for this BS. So we want the least compliant entity or business registration so we can live our life, focus on our business generation, and less documentation. So that's the third criteria. Number fourth criteria is the reputation of that country where we are registering the business, right? Because when we go out to sell our product, people, maybe we're doing a business with a company, they say, okay, who is invoicing? And you show up with a business which is registered in, I don't know, Nicaragua, let's say. And they would okay, we're not kind of sure why we are sending money to Nicaragua, because that business is registered there. And also they might have their own tax compliance. So they may not be open to conduct that transaction, to conduct that business with you. So that's why reputation is important. Number fifth criteria is the payment gateways, because of course we will be businesses and we will be charging money, right? We want to charge customers credit card in terms of software, right? They can also send you bank wire, but let's say you have a software product or you want your customers to pay using their credit card. In that case, you need to have a merchant account as well, or maybe it's a drop shipping business, maybe it's an online store. So in that case, you definitely have to have a Stripe account. Stripe is a provider which allows you to charge credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, all those, right? So they would not let you open the account if your company, wherever is registered, has a less reputation, right? So these are the 5 criteria, right? 100% remote process for us digital nomads, least compliance, remote business account, reputation, and fifth one, I think reputation and the payment gateway, right? So these are the 5 criteria. Now, of course, there's a wisdom for years. Many people have tried it, and digital nomads have tried it in different countries, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and other many countries. But we kind of concluded that there are only few countries which kind of serve check mark 100% all these 5 criteria I just mentioned, right? So list come down to the number 1 candidate is the United States of America. Yay, woo! So people are from the US, feeling proud right now. But you must be wondering, okay, United States is kind of checking all the criteria we listed, but do I have to be from the United States? No, I am not from the United States. So that's the best thing for United States, that if you want to register a company there, you don't have to be a resident, you don't have to be a citizen, and also third, you don't have to have any visa in order to manage your company or US business. Isn't it incredible, right? So guys, again, please start shooting out your question. I will be going there as I'm proceeding, but if you have any specific question, you can shoot them and I will jump to it, because the session is all about answering your questions. Matt is not there, but as I said, I am equally qualified. I'm not like a lawyer or accountant, but I can share with you as a digital nomad, as an entrepreneur, personal experience. And I will also share a screen share, and I will show you how some of the things you may be looking to sign up looks like. And we also have a discount, if you want to register your company, there is a company which offer our community some discount. It was an affiliate, so we asked them to divide the affiliate, right? So our members get some sort of benefit, right? So we will be sharing that as well. So now these 5 criteria are United States is fitting the bill. Yay. Estonia was also come closer, their e-residency program. It may not check all the criteria and also has some sort of different limitations if you're from Europe. So today's webinar, we're going to talk about the US only. Now, US has 50 or 52 states. There's different opinion around that. And you can every state has its own laws about registering a business and their own laws, how they tax, how the compliance works. And so every state has its own rule. And then federally, IRS, it's an Internal Revenue Service, they have like some rule on federal taxation, or you need to file federal taxes, right? So there's 2 criteria. So technically you can register your business in any of the state. Florida, Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada. These are the 4 top states, which kind of attracts global entrepreneurs to register their companies in these 4 states, right? So we will be talking about Wyoming and Delaware because that's where I am registered the business, and there are, of course, some decisions there which you need to take. Why did I pick them, right? This is a question we will be talking. So first, let's talk about Delaware, right? So to register a company in anywhere in the US, you have 2 structures. You can open a LLC or you can open a corporation. There is another structure called S corporation. We will not be getting into it. So let's talk about just these 2, right? Either you incorporate a company, it's called corporation, C Corp, or you open a single member LLC. Okay, these are the 2 types of businesses you can register, or formation structure is called. You can do that, right? So LLC and C Corporation, they are separate business entities than your personal account. So they offer 2 benefits. LLC means limited liability company. Okay, why this is awesome? This is incredible because it limits the liability. For example, you start a business in the US registered, and you're offering some services to a client, and something goes wrong. They sue you for the negligence of something, right? They cannot, if you are shielded behind this, if you are operating through LLC or C corporation even, they cannot come for your personal assets, right? Even if they win the case and they have to, like show $2 million you have to pay, don't worry about it. Whatever it is in your LLC, that's the only thing they can take. They cannot come for your personal assets. They cannot come for your personal account. So this is huge. I know most of digital nomads, we're not getting into these kind of things, but who knows, right? So it's better to be behind it, LLC, right? Now, LLC and C Corp, there are 2 different structures. C Corp is better. Again, the guys, the scope of this event is around online businesses, digital nomads, remote workers, not all type of businesses. So you need to consult with your lawyer, accountant based on your business. But if you are an online founder, then you can follow some templates, which we will be talking, right? So you go for Delaware C Corp if you are going to raise an investment. This is the criteria. Easy criteria. If you're planning to raise an investment, if you're planning to have investors in your business, go for C Corp. Why? Because US investors, pretty much all the investors want you to have a Delaware C Corp structure. Why do they want that? Because Delaware has a reputation for years. They have separate code for businesses, and they also have rules which kind of protects investors. So that's why they want you to register that. It doesn't mean it's for founders or for business owners. It has less. No, it doesn't mean that. But it has some specific codes around corporation, which kind of, if some, like conflict appears, they have specialized judges who have been through these kind of things. So it's better. That's why it's perfect. Now, Delaware has some requirements. If you sign up for C Corp, you need to file taxes. You need to file C Corp federal taxes, and then of course you need to have a board member, you need to have an officer, and you have a director. It could be all. When I register, visadb is registered in Delaware, so I was the only person. It could be one person, but you need to have separate people. You need to also keep the meetings. So this is like some sort of special extra compliance, right? It's still not that much, but it's still extra compliance, right? The best thing about best thing about C Corp is if I'm raising an investment, I can do that. But again, for this webinar, if you're talking about online entrepreneurs, let's talk about LLC, single member entity, which is amazing, ideal for you, least compliance. So now you can open LLC in pretty much all the states, not all the states, but top 4 states I mentioned. In that, Delaware and Wyoming, today we are talking about, they are least compliant, amazing. But if we separate that, if you are a single person and registering a US business, Wyoming LLC is your answer. Why I'm saying that? Because I have a company, I have an LLC in Wyoming, and the process was just incredible. There are few benefits for Wyoming LLC. I will quickly go and list it, and then we will jump into the question and answers. There is no corporate tax. There is no tax for this business. I don't have to pay any business tax. Zero business tax. Amazing. Zero sales tax. Means if I am selling someone who's not in Wyoming, most likely your customers are not in Wyoming. They may be around the world. So you can charge them $10. For a $10 product, you can charge them $10, and that $10 is yours. There's no taxes. Again, guys, there's no corporate taxes. There are no sales tax. Perfectly optimized tax, optimized for businesses, right? For online businesses. So you can have a US business and charge your clients around the world or within US, and you don't have to pay don't have to charge sales tax, you don't have to pay corporate tax. There's only one situation where you might have to pay sales tax if your client is in Wyoming state. I will double check, maybe it's not possible, but generally that's the rule. If it's not in Wyoming, anywhere else in the US, no taxes. So that's a good news. So we check mark. If you're registering a business which does not have to pay taxes, this is incredible, right? G, I will be answering you. I have both, so I will be answering this question to you. So no taxes, number one. Number two, you don't have to file, even there are no taxes, but in Delaware, you still have to file, like if it's a C Corp, I have to file the taxes there. But if you have an LLC in Wyoming or Delaware, including single person, you don't need to file taxes. So in Wyoming, I don't need to even file a document. Even the empty return, I don't have to do that. There's no requirement, right? Now, what I have to do to manage this company, okay, I open it. What is the cost? It's about $100 for filing fee. This is just, you pay $103 you pay to Wyoming state. If you're doing it on your own, $103 goes to them, but they require you to have a local address, right? So you don't have a local address. So what you do, you use a agent, registrar or register agent, you can call them, right? So they charge you some fee, right? So if you Google it, there are thousands of agents. They will be in the Wyoming, and they will let you use their address, right? So that is the second requirement. And so that costs about $50 a year, let's say, maybe, or $100 a year, let's say. It depends on which one you pick, right? So that's the second thing. And the third thing you need to do this, to manage this Wyoming state, is $50 report. And every year for Wyoming, you have to pay $50. That's it. Now, G, I will come back to your question, which was, if we compare with Delaware have a franchise fee, something called franchise fee. So I'm paying in Delaware Corporation, I'm paying $450 a year. It's a franchise fee, which I have to pay every year, which is calculated using different method based on how many shares you have. It's a different debate, different chat. But you have to pay $450 for a corporation. For LLC, I think it's a little less, 400 or something. But you have to, so the point is, in Delaware, you're paying higher maintaining fee if you have a Delaware business, right? In Wyoming, you're paying $50 only. That's a flat fee. You pay that, and you can always get a good certificate of good standing from the state of Wyoming to show to anyone or lender or banks, right? So $50, you need to have an agent, kind of $100, which will offer you the address, which is the requirement to register. And then you would need a tax ID. This is a one-time fee. It's not ongoing. It's called EIN number, Employer Identification Number. That costs differently because different companies offer, different services. You can do that on your own from IRS. You need to actually fax the form. it's I don't know. It's like a process. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. Like not 6 to 8 weeks, less time, but it's a process. You need to send them, you mail them. It's a lot of complications, right? But there are service providers which can offer you. Now, so to register your business in Wyoming, you need few things which we mentioned. You need a filing fee, $100. You need to obtain EIN, which is another $120 something. These are the two fees, and the registrar for the first year is $100, right? So these three things you require to register, and to maintain your company, you just need to pay $50 flat fee. That's it. Boom, right? Now let's talk about business account. So how long does it take to start a company in Wyoming? It takes 2 days. And after 2 days, your company, you will get a incorporation certificate. You will use that incorporation certificate to apply for the tax number, because you need that to open a bank account. So you apply the EIN number, employer identification number, which is a business number or a tax number. It will take at least 15 days, 2 weeks to get this EIN number. Once you get this EIN number along with the incorporation certificate, you apply for the bank account. Go with Mercury, which we already talked about it, why it's free, and also you get $200 if you come from our community, right? So boom, in 2 weeks, you have a business and you have a account all remote. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You need a passport copy, of course, to submit that. That's what you need. And address in the US, which will be provided by your registrar. Boom, you're good. You have a business and you have a bank account, 100%. Yay. All right, so guys, this was a little bit summary. Let's jump into the question and I will answer. I can also share my screen and show you a service provider, First Base, which can actually do all the steps I mentioned. They will file your company, they will use the registrar, they will get you EIN, okay? And they charge $400. If you do it separately, around maybe you say $50, right? Something like that, but it's a hassle. So you can use that one provider which gets you everything, or you can do it separately, or you can browse other services. But we will share the code with you, which will give you 5% off. So if that's a value, not a big much, but why not, right? 5% of $400, it's a lot of, it could be a lot of money. So let me jump. All right, Andrea asks, can you file your taxes on your own? Okay, so LLC is actually, it's not like people think. People have a misunderstanding around LLCs. They think, oh, it's bad, we are avoiding taxes. No, LLCs are pass-through entities. What does it mean? That any money your LLC make, it goes to the owner, and then you file your personal taxes on that money. It's actually not an ideal solution if you live in a country, if you're a resident of a country which has higher personal taxes. Then, of course, all the money comes through your LLC will be charged on your personal rate. That's why we have another configuration where you become a tax resident of Paraguay, and then you pay no taxes as well. We can talk about that in a second. All right, and he asks, can you make cash out of your company money being abroad? Absolutely, you can do that. So in LLC, you don't need, it's called owner's drawing. So feel free to take it out, just keep the receipts. Keep the receipts for whatever you're taking out, just for the records, right? So at the end, you can do that. Also, you can make a transfer to your personal account, okay? And then just keep the record that on that date, you do the owner's drawing, just a record, right? But you can totally do that. Now, how would you do that? So you have a Mercury business bank account, and then maybe you have a personal account. So from Mercury, you make a wire transfer to your personal account, and you can use it. And he asks, if you have an LLC in the US, can you open a bank account of the LLC in other country, for instance, Mexico? No, you cannot do that, because you can only open a business bank account where the business registered. So if you have a Mexican business, then you can open a bank account in Mexico. But if you have a US company, then you can only open a bank account in the United States. Guy asked, Delaware and Wyoming, why choose one over the other? Guy, I mentioned, if we qualify these two based on our 5 criteria as we mentioned, right? So 4 of them, both of the states hit those 4 criteria, right? Remote opening, reputation, bank accounts, right? all and it's payment gateways. The only one criteria which is missed by like Wyoming wins over Delaware is the compliance. Like a lease document and less compliance. Like you don't have to pay more money. It's $50. That's it. And there are other requirements as well, which may be not important for you, but owners don't need to be declared in Wyoming. It's quite private. Shareholders is anonymous in Wyoming state. And there are other technical details which makes Wyoming better, but for this session, maybe people don't know these, and this is not very important at this stage when you are starting a business. So short answer, Wyoming is better for lease compliance and everything else on the criteria which we said at the start. Ryan asks, is it easier to register remotely? Would you consider it worth to make a quick trip to the US? Ryan, I think if you can make, if it's 100%, I did both the companies 100% online. Never went to the US, even though I went to the US, but everything is done like online or using software. So even if you go to there, I don't think so. We'll see. I actually made an appointment with the IRS. Oh my God, it was hell. I went to the office, so it's better to do it online. You don't need to make a trip. Why make a trip? Save this money and maybe run the ads for your business, right? When you're launching. So every money counts, right? And let me show you the service provider which you could use and how the dashboard looks like. So I will go to a thing called First Base. It's a company called firstbase.io. So if you notice, they have a good morning, Danish. They show me the dashboard. So Devi AI LLC, this is my company name. Their dashboard is pretty cool because you notice that they have step-by-step. So after signing up, step 2 was post company formation document complete. So they show you. Then step 3, they get you tax ID complete. And then 4, bank account. But do not open the bank account from here. It's the same bank account. They are opening a Mercury bank account. But if you click on the link we sent you, you get like a $200. You see that? Get $200 cash because it's for our group only. So open a bank account. Actually, you know what you could do? You can actually click on the link and sign up right now. Just sign up. You don't need to, submit your documents. Just sign up. So you secure this $200. And once you're ready with your company, then you can submit the formation documents and Mercury will open a bank account. Why I'm saying that? Because it's free. You don't have to pay anything. Plus you're getting $200 cash back. So why not, right? But if you do with First Base, you don't get any like $200 cash back. But you can use the First Base service to register the company and get your tax ID. They're also the registrar agent, right? So notice that these are the documents they gave me, certificate of formation, which is on 2nd March I downloaded. Now their fees, I forgot, but First Base pricing. Let's check out their pricing. I think we have $500. So they're $400 one-time fee only. And they are doing company formation, all state filing fee, tax ID, which I mentioned. And then also they have 200K in deals and rewards, which is quite incredible. And you also get 1 hour tax free. Now this is for $400, but if you click on the link we give you, you get 5% off, right? So that would be about $20 off. It's $380 you pay, which is not a big amount, but still, right? If you click directly through the link, you can save $20, which is, again, it's up to you. It's not a big amount, but you can run the ads for $20 for your business to grow, or you can just buy yourself a dinner, right? So this is just one suggestion, guys. You don't have to do it. This is not like we have a partnership, but it's absolutely on you. You can browse other providers as well, but to be honest, all the service providers are nearly around the same price. $20 more, $30 less. This is like that. But I am sharing First Base because I have personal experience, so you can check them out and you can use the link if you'd like to use it. But bank, they are our community partner, and Mercury is the best bank for you. Plus you get $200. So guys, that's pretty much it. Please ask me any questions you have. Okay, yeah, Ryan, people actually, if you use, so I contacted some lawyers because I was thinking I need a lawyer. It's a complicated process. And then lawyers quote me around similar prices, $1,500, $1,200. And they also bill you, like after that you need to ask something, they will just bill you for per hour as well. And, it's very expensive. But here, these are the tools. There's so many software companies, companies are offering these services. It's a fixed price. It's a peace of mind. We already know how much we have to pay to register our business. We are already, to be honest, we are struggling because we have a lot of pressure to register a business and start making money. So at least there is a peace of mind that we know the fixed cost. So I can actually plan or project my finances around that because I know how much I'm spending every year or the first time. So first time is $400 with first base, and then every year I think it's $50 or $50 filing fee and registrar fee $100. Okay, so Greg, for services, have you noticed any differences in acceptance reputation between Wyoming and Delaware? Is it possible that corporate clients might prefer a Delaware LLC due to familiarity with the state laws? So Greg, again, it depends on the nature of your service. What are you selling? But to be honest, in law, Delaware, Wyoming doesn't matter. It's a U.S. entity. At the end of the day, it's a U.S. company. So maybe there are state laws here and there, but the reputation is judged by the country rather state, I personally feel. Yes, business address may impact the decision of your buyers. Like, for example, I have a company in Utah or in California. Yes, it could create a bias. So you need to see where would be your target customer and who are they. If they are larger enterprises, and do they care if you have office or where is the company address, or they just see if it's a US entity. So based on these variables, you can make up your mind. And I agree with you, if you think your product is quite that, and maybe in the future you might raise a round, maybe raise an investment, then of course Delaware would be choice. And every year you will be paying $300 more just to maintain the company, but in the long term it would be a good choice. Just to let you know, changing it's a very very expensive process if you need to add the lawyers. So yeah. Gishu asked, what are some disadvantages to have a LLC in Wyoming? So the one disadvantage of LLC in general, it could be, which I mentioned, that there is no taxes on it, but everything goes onto your personal income tax. If you live in a lower tax residency country as a personal person, then it's amazing. But if you live let's say, for example, Switzerland, where tax rates, or Canada, where tax rates are can go up to 35%, right? So all the money goes through you, and then you are charged a personal tax rate on that income. So single person LLC, that could be a disadvantage, which you can mitigate by becoming a tax resident in Paraguay, which do not charge any taxes on foreign income. So your LLC earn income, and you're a tax resident in Paraguay. So Paraguay sees all the income coming from the US as a foreign income, and they charge 0 rate on that. So that is a good structure. Other than that, I don't see other except the reputation part. If you have a client, they might be iffy. Oh, you're in Wyoming, that can be a disadvantage. But if it's an online software, people don't care. But if you have to have an office where a client would visit, then maybe they will be like, oh, okay, am I going to Wyoming? So yeah, this would be I would see an advantage. But as our scope is about online businesses and freelancers, so it doesn't matter. We're not going to have a building. We're not going to have an office. So in that case, it's absolutely fine. So guys, please ask me 1 or 2 more questions. I'm here. You have all the tools. You have all the knowledge now. And you can Google it. Everybody knows this. Like, people talk about Wyoming a lot, and they talk about Delaware a lot. So it's not something you're getting into something people don't know. I personally have it. Thousands of founders have it. They're running successful companies without any problem. So if you have any office, of course, then typical places, right? California, New York, Florida, comes out well, because if you have an office in New York, that gives like a perception that, it has like a default trust or something, like a default reputation. Oh, they're cool. It's a cool company. It's a cool business. They're operating in New York, right? So if you have to have an office, right? Otherwise, doesn't really matter. So if I go to share my screen again so that I can show you how it actually affects. So I go to this company website. This is my tool. This is my software tool that I created to my Facebook groups. And if I go down and then I go to contact, so here we are, right? Email, phone, meet us to grab a coffee. We don't have any office, but we still show the address to show them that it's a US company. Now, people don't know, clients abroad, they don't know what does it mean by WY. So they don't care. And also they're not coming to visit me in the office. They just buy this tool online. So it doesn't really matter. But if I have a marketing agency and I will be outreaching them in a physical world, and I would invite them to come and do the brainstorming session on a whiteboard in my office, then of course you will be opening office in a city, and that's where you have to register the company. So yeah, that's cool. So Ryan, thank you guys. Everybody, I will also upload this on a YouTube. You can watch it, but don't worry, we will be inviting the Ryan or Matt in 2 weeks' time when they get well, and we will go further in detail about how to do it. But to be honest, there's nothing much. There's no taxes in the summary. You don't have to pay any taxes. You have to pay $50 every year. That's pretty much it. All the income goes through your personal tax. That's pretty much it. So there's nothing, it's not that complicated, and everything works out remotely. For business account, use Mercury, and payment gateway, Stripe, Amazon, or all the payment gateways. So that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you very much for joining. I'm really grateful. I hope you learned something from my experience, and we will be organizing more events, so feel free to join. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are there. Every week we host this free community session. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.